Okay, so class, I want to continue on with the Lipogrammer. There's a couple things I wanted to maybe add on top of what we had done before or what I had demonstrated before. So before I created this word in result, method, and I know this is one way of doing it, and I'm kind of guessing actually that maybe other people did it other ways. I mean, there is another way to do it, so I'm going to also demonstrate an alternative way of implementing this method. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one. So I'll just give it a new name, and I will, have it, I will use it in replacement of this one up here later on when I'm all done. But the other way of checking to see whether the word is within the result is to use the index of. But there's a little trick in doing that, because if you think about the text, the result, it's going to look something like this. Word 1, and so basically all the words have this /n delimiter around it on both sides, and we can use that as a way of checking to see if the entire word is already in the word list. So basically we could do something like this, return whether or not we could check to see whether or not the word with this /n new line character on both sides of it is contained in results already. And if it is, then the word is in results. Now there is one special condition if that word happens to be the very beginning word. So that's another thing we need to check for. So we could do something like this, where I also check to see whether or not the word plus /n in itself is found at the very beginning. So we do something like this. So there's two conditions. If the word with the /n is found in the results at the very beginning of the string, or if this word here is found later in the results string, return true. So I will just go with this instead. And then up here, I'll modify this to call the other one instead. And so if I've done everything right, then it should still run the way it was. And I'll go down here and I'll give it a try and see if it works. And it seems like it does work. E, double E, triple E, the, he, and yeah, so it looks actually quite decent. Now, there was one more thing I kind of wanted to improve on. I wasn't quite satisfied, or I'm not quite satisfied with the algorithm, in the sense that, right here, I'm extracting my word because I found an illegal word. I'm adding it to the result if it wasn't already in there, and then I find the next illegal letter in the text. But if my text has something like this, for example, let's say this is my text, and say this is the letter that I had found to be illegal, and so this is the word that I extracted, and I added this to results, I don't want to just go ahead and find the next letter E and then check a letter again. What I really would like to do is get beyond this word, and then from that point on look for subsequent illegal letters. So what I'm going to do, instead of just merely finding the next letter, illegal letter in the text, I'm going to first advance I. So say I is right here. I want to advance I to the end of this word before I continue looking for the next illegal letter. So I'll do something like this. And so you notice here that I'm always being careful to make sure my index here is legal before I do something like this, because I'm going to be doing text.charAt. And so I want to make sure that when I do text.charAt that it's, the index is legal. So what I'm doing here is, actually what I probably should do before I do this, I should advance, oops, I should advance my index pointer, the letter, and then I'm going to start iterating, and if I keep finding letters, I'm going to keep advancing that index pointer here until it's no longer a letter. And then once it's no longer a letter, I will then search ahead from that point. Actually, what I can do is at that point I don't need the plus. Yeah, I'll leave the +1 there. Look from that point forward to look for any sort of illegal letter. So let me see if that works. Now I really won't see any real modification or improvement in my program necessarily, but I just want to see that the program still works, and the program still seems to work. And I think I like this algorithm a little better, not just because I think it's not kind of repeatedly checking the same word over and over again unnecessarily. It's a very minor improvement to the algorithm. It's probably pretty unnecessary to add in there, but I just feel better about doing so. Okay, anyways, I think that's about it. That would probably be what I would end up doing in the end here. I don't know if I, between these two different methods, word and result 2 or word and result, this seems nicer. I don't know if this is way worse in terms of speed or anything. It might be slightly slower, but yeah, this is a pretty fancy way of doing it, and you'd have to kind of find this little trick in order to do it in this method, but it is a nice way of doing it. Okay, I think that's it.